Okay, I'm going to create one of the best, if not the best video out there when it comes to the sadly unfortunate thing happened with the shootings, school shooting, and that happened recently in America. And sadly, shootings happen all the time, and those should be taken seriously too. Those should also be talked about with doing something about. So, anyways, so how are we gonna make the world a better place? How are we gonna give hope? How are we gonna help all? How are we gonna love all? How are we gonna change this into something positive? Not how are we gonna stop all violence, but how are we going to bring more love into the world? How are we gonna make it so people will not do that anymore? Instead of thinking about how we're gonna stop this or make it safer, how about prevent it from happening, where that person gets help, where that person gets that love, where that person changes, becomes a better person. We see it before it happens. Okay. So I figured I'd add that before I'm getting into the video of what I'm going to talk about, which is this. One, I will say this, mentioning, if anyone's seen the movie Pay It Forward, there's at least 2 scenes in the movie that will go into a whole other issue of this whole circumstance, with people saying, oh, guns are the problem, or we need to pass more gun laws. Well, Pay It Forward had 2 things at the beginning of the movie and at the end of the movie, which is, so these schools, do they have how do I call it? I'm trying to think of the name where they have to where people have to go through a metal detector or something and get checked to see if they have any weapons going with them. Do they have any of that? Do all of those have that? In movie Pay It Forward, they had that. However, there's 2 things that happen in the movie. If people are going to catch, carefully listen to this. Carefully pay attention to this, because this is very, very important. That could really help this whole thing that's going on. If you want to change America, if you want to change schools, there's at least 3 things we need to do differently. One's involved loving people, having more love, make the world a better place through love. And then the other issue is, do those schools have metal detectors? How safe are they when in terms of having security? With letting people that have that, checking everything, their bags, everything that they have on them, every single, their jacket. It sounds like an invasion of privacy to pat them down and everything else. But when it comes to safety, there's nothing wrong with that because of making sure schools are safe. It's one thing, unfortunately, when it comes to bad neighbors and all that. I wish we would take that more seriously all the time. But that's a whole other issue, and that's a whole different area in terms of how do you make that safe versus schools where you can pat people down, have metal detectors, have security. And I've not heard people talk very much when it comes to that. I've heard people say stricter gun laws, stricter gun laws. Come on, gun laws are strict enough. Gun laws are not the problem. It's help people that is needed to be addressed. Loving people that needs to be addressed. Security that needs to be addressed. Guns, getting access to illegally that needs to be addressed. People who need help that aren't getting that help needs to be addressed. When there are warning signs, there was warning signs. Can't people just really wake up and see that there were warning signs and they should pay attention to that? And not the gun problem, but the love problem, the hate problem. And I said the love problem because there's not enough love. So again, going back to the Pay It Forward thing. So there was metal detectors. But if you paid attention carefully, for anybody who's seen Pay It Forward, the movie showed that there wasn't a gun problem in the movie. There was people having knives. And in this country, it is easier to get a knife than a gun. So we make it hard for people to get guns, right? What about other weapons? What about fighting? I grew up with bullying in my life. There wasn't weapons a problem in the school that I grew up in. I grew up in a pretty safe school, but there was still bullying that existed. That's going to get a little off topic, but I figured I'd bring up that a little bit into the video. So anyways, going back to this, pay it forward, add a knife. At the beginning of the video and at the end of the video where we snuck a knife through the metal detector. So you got to make sure not only is metal detectors security, make sure the knife or the gun or any weapon doesn't get past security in any way. And then at the end of the movie, on the school grounds, unfortunately, the one who made that great change got killed with a knife on the school grounds. So we got to really look at it. It's any weapons is the problem. And then more importantly, it's having more love, helping people, less hate. Even more importantly, for people who are Christians and aren't Christians, the people need Jesus. People need God and Jesus. How many people who are really, truly Christians, born again Christians, go out and do bad stuff? If you really look at people who are really, really, really are Christians, okay, we will always sin. But people who really, truly are Christians will never go to that far of an extent to commit such sinful crimes, such really bad crimes, do really bad things like that. Your life changes in such a way that you won't do stuff like that anymore. But anyways, that's again off topic, but they're all related. Everything that I've talked about is all related and making the world a better place and to fix these problems, to find solutions instead of focusing on the problem, focus on the solutions. And so 3 things would be more love when it comes to helping others in terms of improving the world. So, solving the problem with love. Second would be security, like metal detectors and all that. And then third would be I'm pretty sure this is because I'm not sure if I forgot what I was gonna say or if it was this one. But, is that it's not the gun problem. It's any weapons. It's the safety in general through making sure it just doesn't get past the people. We keep looking at guns are the problem. If people didn't get through the schools with those guns, it wouldn't have even happened. Now, yes, the person could have brought the gun just to the school and then took it out beforehand and then end up going through the school because he had a gun and people got afraid, and then he went through out of people being fearful and or getting killed. The people got killed and they went through anyways. However, if you had some really good security, that would really help prevent that. So it really makes me wonder, these schools that these shootings happened in, was the security really that great? Having teachers, be more prepared for this. Having students be more prepared for this. Having people who are having these problems to get the help they need, important too. And then I also watched a video recently how he got expelled. So it sounds like he was pretty upset about being expelled, besides he had issues. He had hate toward them because of that happening, besides he already had problems as it is. I hope that guy that did those school shootings recently, that he finds God and Jesus, that people pray for him, because, you know what? I believe no matter how bad your problem is, that there's hope for every single person, and that Jesus, there's still hope for you to have God and Jesus in your life, that you can still become born again Christian, you can still go to heaven. Some won't believe it, but people who are truly Christians, born again Christians, will know that that is true. You just got to give your life to God and Jesus. Confess your sins. I really truly believe that he really truly didn't want to. He was just that messed up. He was that far gone, and hopefully he comes to realize what he did was wrong before the end of his life. And hopefully people will get away from this bad life when it comes to doing really bad things, that more people will help people like him or any people that do bad things, that more people will help people that are at risk of bad stuff happening to them or have already done bad stuff and do not do things anymore. Or even more importantly, to know God and Jesus. More importantly, to get better. More importantly, to have that love in their life. So we need that love. We need that security in schools, and we need to just realize what the real problem is and find the solution. So let's wake up, America. Let's wake up, world. Let's realize what the real problem is. Find the solution. Make the world a better place. Love all. And know that there's hope for everyone, and we can fix these problems. We can make the world better. We'll be a part of an amazing cause, and know that, focus on the solution. Focus on the solutions and everything that's wrong in the world. Focus on love. Know that life can get better. I believe everything can get better for all, and I know that everything can. So let's have hope for all. Let's make the world a better place.